This is Samson too. So Robert, introduce me to this group here. Who am I? What do I do here?
This is Samson too. He's the lead designer on this bridge replacement project. He's one of the most accomplished engineers in the entire office. So when there is a project that has a level of complexity, guess who they come to? Mr. To, the voice of hotel. So give some respect to his name. He knows what he's doing.
Thank you. Okay, as you can see here, I'm a beginner impacting. Run the big mark. See how it's working like this here, and that's small work. That's what we do. We talk, but we do as well. I'm a beginner, senior beginner. Okay? Again, the sweat is the body. It's my country. So we're doing it to be able to help. Whatever we can do to help. It's not about the money. It's about what we can do to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. This is the city of beginner, and they put it in the sidewalk. Yes, I'm going to tell you. They put it in the sidewalk, and I'm going to be the one to put it in the sidewalk if I order it. So, thank you. Baba di mi we nya ma pula pa luwa ti yo won wo toro
I'm on way, then I'm on your way, I'm on the river. Why pay all no one knows? Why be your them I rock out and get your wife. About you, your way, they are and I do so neo, Toto, now I was some more. So they can't when I saw the way power 90 how we power
good evening, folks. Samson told La Public Radio. We're here again this evening. We want to thank all of you that are trooping in, not trucking in, but trooping in here this evening. We want to thank you very much. We say we appreciate you as usual. Thank you. Please stay with us here tonight. I still have to do a few more things here. I think I need to play some more music because I'm not quite done yet. I'm not quite done yet. Okay. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the music. It's a beautiful music. And plus, this handsome guy picture being displayed anyway. So just enjoy your music.
See how it's looking like this here? And that's small one. That's what we do. We talk, but we do as well. And then we can the city of the piano. Okay? Again, the sweat is the body. It's my country. So we're doing it to be able to help. Whatever we can do to help. It's not about the money. It's about what we can do to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. This is the city of beginner. And they put it in the sidewalk. Yes, I'm going to tell you. They put it in the sidewalk. And I'm going to be the one to put it in the sidewalk. If I ought to. So, thank you.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for joining us again tonight. I have to share this because I don't have a producer, stuff like that. I'm doing it all by myself. I'm on this side, I'm on this side, I'm not over here. So, that's what we try to do here so that we're all going to enjoy our show. I have to share it to as many people as possible as well. And I'm asking all of you to please share this video, share it to as many people tonight as possible. It's important that we do so. Samson to La Public. I want to thank all of you and welcome all of you again tonight. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing here to have you here tonight. Thank you very much. Okay, we don't have that. So let's go back here. We want to thank all of you. Please just stay with us. We have some important conversation here tonight. While we're moving here and there, that's okay. That's okay. But we still come up and do the best we can as presenters here on this wonderful, wonderful platform. We'll do our best to say welcome. Again, folks, Samson told La Public, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a wonderful thing to have you here tonight. We will do our best, like I stated, to continue to enlighten you and give you some information that are very, very much important to all of us. Samson told La Public, as we come out here again tonight, we will be talking about the country Republic of Liberia. We ask all of you to join us, share, and invite people to watch it with you. You can put us on a big screen TV and watch this handsome guy continue to display his knowledge of Liberia as a political guru on this platform. I'll give you some political lesson of good or bad. We'll give it to you. We're not holding back. Again, let's go. Safety, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We want to thank you for bringing us here. My Lord, we ask you for a long life. My Lord, we ask you to continue to guide us. Thank you. Thank you. Whatever it is, my Lord, we ask to protect us. Thank you. We ask, my Lord, that indeed we thank you for things yet to come. We thank you for the Republic of Liberia. We thank you for the people of the Republic of Liberia. We put them in your hands. And with your hands, everything is possible. In your hand, nothing goes wrong. And we put Liberia and its people in your hand. Extend the life of the president, President Joseph Bakai. We ask that you continue to bless his hand. We ask that you continue to guide him. Whatever he touches, my Lord, bless him. Bless his hand. Whichever door he knocks, open the door. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. We ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Again, folks, Samson told those of you that are watching us for the first time, that's how we do it. We're here again tonight. See the green? Liberté Party. USA. Liberté Party Liberia. Liberté Party USA. So I make it. But let me read a passage here. You know, this month, April is a historical month, uh, good or bad, in Liberia and in Liberian history. And we want to, people going around talking all kinds of tabatat about this happening, that happening. When we tell y'all, these are some of the things we continue to say. When you close your ears to reality, that's what you get. It's nothing here to apologize to nobody. We owe nobody apologies. We owe nobody apologies. You came from here and went over there and want to act like you're the slave master here. And when something goes wrong against you, you want to come and want to, for people to come and sympathize with you and celebrate. Yeah, we don't like the death. Nobody should die. We pray nobody should die. But you know how many years people been telling you don't live like this? That this is not just your country, this is a country of all of us, Liberian. But yet you be decided because you're two-way party, you decided to rule one party system. And when thing goes wrong on you, you want to come and symbol your descendant. They want to come and think say Liberians have done wrong. You better think again, and I will show you. This is a book from William Yanu, and it's not tribalistic at all. It's just history. And let me read something here. I know I found something here earlier that I want to read. I want to read something here. Back in World War II, Arthur David, one of the he's dead now. He's a big actor. I'm an American actor. He was assigned in Liberia during World War II. And let's see his observation. Let's see his observation. And you're going to consider November, April 22. And nobody said people should die. No. But those are things that happen when you pay no attention to other folks, making them like a slaves in their own country for hundreds and some more years. They have to till chumba and do all kind of junk just so your people, your children will survive. And you collect taxes from them, and you don't do anything about it. And then when they take matter into their own hand, you're gonna come and start crying about it, and you expect your way. Saturday, every Saturday, I will deal with that. I will deal with it. It has nothing to do with tribalism. Some of the people that helped me to be to where I am today are conquered descendant. I have nothing against them. As far as I'm concerned, they are my brothers and sisters. So it has nothing to do with me personally, or have nothing to do with anything as but I'm a Liberian. Okay? I can't find a piece here now. I can't find it. I can't find it. It's a very, very beautiful piece. I think I need a bookmark. I didn't know I was going to be much involved like this here this evening. What got me involved here is this stuff here that I've seen on Front Page Africa. Yeah, pain or purpose. Okay, pain or purpose. People want to corrupt behavior. They want to steal your money. They're making you to use your pain for something else, and your thing will forget. See, the more you talk about these things, the more people do research. Young human beings are not just stupid. They say, they would think, they say, but why Liberian indigenous went ahead and killed over 13 or so Liberian? Okay, here's the part that I want to read. Okay, also David, an African American and one of several GI stationed in Liberia during World War II, for example, wrote, this is a guy who experienced oppression here in the United States. This is a guy who was much involved in the 70s, I mean, the 60s during the civil rights issues. So he knows. But listen to what he said. And you're going to come here and come right, you kind of junk here, and you want people to come sit down here and say, oh, what happened? Eh? You were warned over and over and over. You can't treat people like that, especially when you are not in majority. And you refuse to listen. You talk things for yourself. Everything must be about you and for you. So say one, so say all. No one man, one vote. You won't allow it. Then when things turn around against you, you want to sit down here and come right there, kind of April 22nd, Memorial Group, G Mountain, mark 46 year since 1980 execution. My foot. You think it happened overnight? You think those are just all grown-up boys that jump from the street to come and overthrow the government, Republic of Liberia? You think so? You think so? These are people that experience hardship in your government. These are people that grew up in the countryside in your government, and they saw what you guys did to us in your government, in your two-way party government. And then when they came, they got gunned down. So what do you want us to say? We are sorry for the death of anybody. Nobody wants anyone to die. But you're going to come here and try to celebrate. Every year you come out and put it kind of junk up, and you expect us to come and say, yeah. Of course, yeah, for the death of people. But it's not yeah because you're out of power. And you should not be able to test power anymore because you were too greedy to be party. You were completely greedy and useless to be party. I say so. Let me read what I'm getting angry here, and let me read what I said. What and this guy wrote. He used to be an actor here in the U.S. The former GI. I was now wounded on ease, he said, with the class conflict that was brewing in Liberia. I was disturbed by it. The brotherhood based on race, which I have fully expected, was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, he said. Rather, the oppression of one class of people, the native tribes, by another class, the American Liberian, was everywhere in evidence. This is not Samson to a writing. You think this is what you do when you go and make a mess like this? Then people do research because people want to find out. That's just human nature. People want to find out what happened. Why were these 13 people killed anyway? Why? Is it because the indigenous have taken over and therefore they must kill? Far from it. Far from it. And you guys, one of the things I know now, we thank God, we don't have to go to BBC for BBC to talk for us. We will speak for ourselves. We will talk for ourselves. We're the progressive. We're still around. We're still around. You think you're gonna come and switch your bad behavior, your forefather bad behavior? You're gonna switch it around, blame us, the descendants of the people who brought freedom. Although it didn't go well, I will admit it didn't go well. It has not turned out to be good. But what we wrestle from you and what we wrestle from you and took away from you, and you will never get back, is the one man, one vote. That will never be turned back. So say one, so say all. It will never happen. I don't care how the native ruined this country of the Republic of Liberia. Sooner or later, there will be among Liberians someone that will stand up and get our country going and get it going based on so say one, so say all. every year, every year. And yeah, that's some of the greedy part of you guys. We know these histories. Some of the two parted descendants. So your greedy stuff, your wickedness, This is manifested itself. You guys come every year and celebrate the passing of your forefather. We sympathize. We say. But it was not just the 13 people, the 13, there were some native people that were killed. There were some native people that were buried along with Tower. You're not called their knee. You're not called Prebebo knee. Prebebo. He was buried with Tower in a same grave. You're not put a picture up. You're not put a picture up. All you're concerned with about your own greed. People warn you. Even Joseph Jenkins Roberts warned you. You didn't listen. Your forefather told you all they wanted was for you guys to be educated. That's it. And come back and rule us. That's it. You expect us to tow you in a hammock every year when you come to the countryside. You don't want to walk in the mud. You don't want to walk in the rain. We should put you on our bikes. We know what our father told us. There were those people that were used to want to come to the interior, and people used to carry their load for nothing. Free. Work for days. And it's free. And you're going to come here and try to blame us for your inept and your greedy behavior. This has nothing to do with tribes. You came from here. And I read something here one time. The tribe of Henry Formula, Dr. Henry Formula Sr., the tribe of Dr. Formula, where GAAPS stood in public. We gave you, we make you, we send you to school, we train you to be one of us. Is this how you pay us? As though Dr. Formula was not a Liberian. What a nonsense. And you want to come here every year, try to blame the progressive of your misfortune. You brought it on yourself. If you were to treat all of us the way you treated each other, we wouldn't have had the mess in the first place. We wouldn't have the mess in the first place. All you did was just educate your own. And for any of us to be educated, we have to go through a lot. Tow your timber, tow your water, fill your water drum, wash your clothes, cook for you, just so that we can go to night school. And you want to come here every night, try to blame people. Look at the kind of stuff they're writing here. And you expect people to just be quiet? You expect people to be quiet? It's solid behind of memories and renewal, resolve, defining this year, April 22nd communication as family of victim. You call yourself victim? Are you a victim? Are you a victim? What kind of business is this? We're all Liberians. If we're going to reconcile, we must reconcile fully, respectfully, and truthfully. We can't hide things behind our bike and things there because no. You alone cannot write. We can write now too. We can do research now too. And not just you alone. What kind of business is this? I just read here. Let me read Joseph Jenkins Robert. I'm glad that William Yano wrote this book. I'm very glad. You know what? I'm gonna put this thing. Let me see if I can find where Joseph Jenkins Robert. Okay, I can't find that, but I just read what Davis said. He's one. He used to be an actor here in the U.S. He was one in the U.S. Army stationed in Monrovia, Liberia, and when he came back, let me read that again. If you're going to go around blaming the native for your misfortune, let me read this again. You came from here, from America, on the worst condition. You were treated miserably. You were not even allowed to be yourself. And then when you got free, some of you say you want to go back home to establish ourselves. And when you got there, you met people on the ground, seeing color. And GAAP talk about how did we get there? They sold us that the kind of vendetta you guys have against us all these years. For forgetting to know that you are in minority. You cannot, and you must not, and you shouldn't behave as though you control everything, which you did for years. For years, it was just a matter of time. You know that. Your days were numbers. You know that. Now, it happened violently, which I don't appreciate either. Which I wish it have not come to that. I wish we were being able to have a pure transition of power without any bloodshed whatsoever. Because I don't like bloodshed either. But for you to every year to come and write these kinds of tabata here and then try to blame people when you were told years and years ago. The way you're living, they told you. The way you try to exercise these people, they told you. The way you're making these people as though as your slave, they told you. Were not lies. You cannot sustain that. They told you these things. But your forefathers refused to listen to them. If I start showing some picture here of your forefather, how they used to dress, what they used to do, and I can show you picture, and you tell me how many countrymen you will see that standing there. When a countryman is lucky and blessed to get an education and be working in your government, his forefather from the countryside will come and praise you. Will come and praise you. I witnessed these things. He gave you goats. Sometimes he give you cow because you give the person a job. As though he's a how you expect us to live as a foreigner in our own country? How you expected us to live? And somebody came and opened the eyes of the natives that you are entitled, just that they are. And when the progressive are telling you, they didn't tell you say the two-way party and the American Liberian, they're not citizens of Liberia. They never argue that. They always agree that yes, indeed, you are just a full-fledged citizen like any of us. However, your behavior towards us was ridiculous and bad and wicked. And wicked. Let me read this again. This is from R.C. Davis. I said, he used to be an army in World War II. You're in Liberia. Let me read that again. I was not only unease, he said, with the class conflict that was brewing in Liberia. I was disturbed by it. The brotherhood based on race, skin color. Your left from here when the first thing they started doing, people who got light skin and mulattoes, they started separating themselves from the black people, from the darker skin. And they rule until two-way party, the darker skin people, two-way party, they came and took them out. Of course, the mulatto came back and two-way party took it. But when two-way party took it, this time around, they didn't just, they were not even going against the mulatto. They went vengeance. They turned all their rage, the suffering that they suffer here in America, they turned it against the indigenous. And they never let their foot off our throat, off our neck for years. I think that I saw in Town Town. I said, baby growing up, young men growing up, young boys growing up. Thing that I saw because Totem was a chiefdom, a parliament chiefdom seat. So many of the things the two-way party wanted, they passed the information on to their internal department, whatever the interior department. They come up now. Don't get me wrong. Then they turn it on to come to the superintendent. Then the superintendent turn it to the district commission. District commission turn it to the parliament chief to the clan chief to the town chief to the quarter. True story. I know these things. And people were paying $10. $10 for house tax. The area in Nimaka they call Growing. When I was growing up, coming to Monrovia, everybody come down from the car. Everybody come down, and you got to show your tax receipt. You show it, you're not getting the car. They put you in jail. No question asked. When the tax, I say my own eyeball, I see when the tax count, you pay. They put stake on your shin and tie it. They tie your hand behind your bike and they make you look in the sun for hours until somebody come and pay the $10. Where did that $10 go? They go to build two-week party. What did the $10 go? They go and build CWA. No high school in town. Now, yeah, you say, well, high school there. No, no high school there because you never give us structure. We'll try. We'll put it there one day. It will be there. It will be there. But the point that I'm making here is not about us. For you guys every year to feel like you are so special. You forgot to know 250,000 people Liberian died because of your mess that you created on us. Let me read this again. I was not only unease with the class conflict that was brewing in Liberia. I was disturbed by it. That's David talking. Back in World War II, veteran came back from there when he joined the fight against civil rights, well, for civil rights. The brotherhood based on race, which I have fully expected, because his thing was, we Liberians, he was expecting to see us. Okay, okay, let it go. Give me a minute here, Gideon. Give me a minute. My battery's dead. And then I'll move on to the next subject matter. How can I best every year? And every year when I see you writing Tabata, I will reply to you. We're still alive. We're still alive. What happened in 1980? Let me say again. I am not blowing the trumpet of having our brothers and sisters killed. I'm not in that. That is not what I want. That is not what I support. I'm not celebrating the death of anybody. I'm just pointing out to you people, to the descendant of those people that died. Why? Have you even gone deep to see what happened? Yes, I know human that life people die. I understand that it's sad. I feel bad myself. Because the day I was in Monrovia, I saw that on the post. I just refused to stay to the barracks to watch it. But when that happened, the cloud that came over the beach, I saw that. I know God was not happy with us. I can tell. But that's the point that I'm making. What happened? How did we get there? You're not asking questions. You people just want to come in and blame the indigenous for your misfortune. This thing been brooding for years, just as Jigging Rabbit told you. We are here now. These are our brethren. Wilonyanu book, guys. If you want to find out what the thing I'm saying tonight, go in Wilonyanu book. Go, Nyanu did such a wonderful job by researching and documenting. Oh, this is a book to read. But it is not a book for tribalism. No. It's a book. If these people, if these descendants, if they really want to know what happened, let them get Wolonyanu book and read it. They will change their tune. How you would treat people like this and expect to go scot free? Just like Jigging Rabbit told you. He said, we are here now. We consider ourselves to be civilized and Christian. Let us teach our brethren They also have suffered. Since we're here, let's teach them, bring them along so they will be part of the government. Just like Jing Rabba. Just like Jing Rabba. Two party came in and shut the door. Okay? There were a few people that were asking that you can't do that, but they were not in leadership. I mean, one of the Ejiro was in leadership, but he made it clear, and the other folks refused to listen. You are in minority, but you want to oppress the majority. There's a book here by William Tower stated that here. I wish I can find. I will deal with this thing here Saturday. I'll put all my evidence together. William Tower, in his 1974 inaugural address, and he asked the question: how is it that the minority few will not allow the majority to speak for themselves? William Tower asked that question. You're coming here calling Tabata every year. The point that I'm making, somebody saying, hey, we know the history as well. I'm saying that I know plenty. I know. You're not fooling me. God, no. I was like a front row seat to the 1980 event. I was a front row seat. Front row. So don't come here, come to Tabata. There's a guy that got killed along with Tower that night from Totan area. They call him Prebebo. He was buried in the same grave with Tower. But when you put the picture there, we don't see Prebebo knee, or we don't even see a picture. You think we're stupid? Those are the kind of behavior that got you in a mess in the first place. This is the behavior you got. Why was it Prebebo? And he was not the only one. There was a guy the night Connerelli. When the night Connerelli died behind the mansion, there was another Loma guy that also got killed along with Connerelli behind the mansion. Connerelli was running, coming to the mansion when he got shot. There was another guy, another Loma man that got shot. You're not mentioning that one? You're not talking about it? But you think people don't know these things? Oh, because we're just quiet for peace sake. Yeah, why you do these things? As though the people that suffer alone with the two party member, you're not even mentioning that. But that's not the point. How did we get to that point? The indigenous just woke up one night and say, you know what? We're gonna just break heaven? No. Gradual thing. Things that used to. I just told you the story, and the Totan was not unique. They were all over Liberia. You pay I call any countryman's son right now, any countryman's son that were born in around the 60 or something, and let them ask them what kind of treatment people used to get when they don't pay that $10 horse tax. You go through there's a gate in Carisburg. They call our mama. They call it Kissy Boy because that's a fear. So, before you, as soon as you pass Tubman Town, when you get on the quota, everybody has to start beating because you're going to Kissy Boy. When they get there, the treatment you will get, you come every year. Facebook now even make it worse now. Some of the kids that were just born in the 90s, parents have done worse. They don't even think about that. Go watch Mike. You do another research. Mike, what's his name? The 60 million guy. I didn't forget him, but he went to Liberia. There's a video up there also on Facebook. They asked Tower, how you feel about underage girls having baby for many of you? He said, but at Liberia, that's what make this country sweet. You think we don't know these things? Your two-way party, you decided to change the age of consent from 18 to 16 for young girls. I think we're stupid around. Every year I come right Tabataya. Yeah, I would deal with it one by one. I'm not doing it as a way to promote violence. Like I say, I don't believe in violence. I believe in talking. But when you make mistake, own up to your mistake. And as long as you people continue to blame the indigenous for your misfortune, you think you're going to have a sincere reconciliation process? How you going to reconcile with the kind of tabata you put in? Your name, all your 13 people. But what's about those that were killed that night with Toba? Who also having to be the indigenous? Why you can't name no people? Oh, they are on a dead pie. They ain't mean anything. Let me read David, then I'll move on. I'm waiting for you again next year. Let me read David. He said, I was not, Davis was Army, U.S. Army, African, let me read, also David, an African American and one of several GI stationed in Liberia during World War II. For example, he wrote, I was now only unease with the class conflict that was brewing in Liberia. I was disturbed by it. The brotherhood based on race, which I had fully expected, based on race, which I had fully expected, was nowhere to be found. Rather, the oppression of one class of people, the native tribes, by another class, the American Liberians, was everywhere in evident. Stranger come to Liberia, they can see it, the way you treated us. The way you treated us. So when the children, the young children, when they have the opportunity to go to LU, say, oh, their eyes open up. Once you can read, your eye open. Look at the way you're the Firestone. Look at the way you're treated. You help Firestone to treat our people. Firestone want to pay. There's a documentation, there's record there. The records are there. Firestone want to pay more. You say no. Because you got rubber fund there. If you pay more, if Firestone pay more, then the other people want us to pay more. We want to get profit. They're not greediness to the highest degree. You think all this stealing that is happening in the government right now, you think that's just not business? They learn from you. Let's get together as people. Those of us that have some serious knowledge of these things, get together and have a conversation. And some of us will tell you some of the things that happen. And then perhaps if you understand and recognize why, you will know. Why you think people like GAAP then got put on our list? You know why? There was a gentleman. If you don't know the story again, let me just say I told you many times. There was a young gentleman. At that time, myself, I was working in a store. I was working on Vincent Street. There was a guy that was working in I know you know hear the story. They call him Barry. He used to work in Center Street Supermarket, right there, not too far from Rocket Cinema. So while the liberal were working, he decided to take candy. And two Lebanese guys, they decided to take the candy from his mouth. But instead of opening his jaw with their hand, they used umbrella, the tip of the umbrella, and prick his neck here and pulled it out and killed him. So when Barry's story came out that day, Monrovia and the citizen of the city was pissed. Two-way party government told us they would deal with it. So guys were arrested, the two of them, two Lebanese were arrested. Supreme Court got involved. 2 days later, they disappeared in Liberia. They are yet to come. The two Lebanese left Liberia. And the people we're all Liberian. You can't keep secret from us. The same way we can't keep secret from you. And people get to know that the GAPA was involved. So when you're going to come and write these kinds of things, on a good memorial, April 22nd memorial. If you're going to do it, be sincere. Even if you're not going to talk about what happened, and you just want us to remember the people, those who die along with the people, call their name to not only not because they were not put on a pole. There were some Liberian, indigenous Liberian, that tried to defend the Tower government that night. They got killed. They got killed. We know them. One of them is from Tota. Try to defend. And if my brother, my cousin, first cousin, have not been told, they lied to him to say stay home. He was in the SS. Say stay home. So what happened? He said, oh, one of your, of course, the people involved. Say, oh, one of your cousins sick, but people are coming from Tota. And the how can he stay home? If he ain't there, he was gonna be involved. And most likely, who knows, he would have been killed. Then you're coming here, come to Tabata. Every year, you'll come and say these things. But that's just a warning. Samson told La Burrito, like I said, we talk for ourselves now. We don't depend on BBC to talk for us anymore. We don't depend on VOA to talk for us anymore. We will talk for ourselves. And what I'm going to do, I will continue to open the eyes of Liberian people. There was young Liberians that were born that have no clue what happened. All they know, 13 people were put on the pole. Yeah, that's so sad. Of course, it's sad. It's bad. We're all Liberians. Why would we kill each other? But what the first to put on is what led us to that point. What brought us in to that position? You cannot forget history and expect some of us to just sit on here for you to talk all your tabata. Let me bring in Terry. Terry, different subject matter. You don't have to get involved in this. Terry, good evening. Thank you for joining us. You don't have to get involved in it. I just got a little bit taken back when people start writing that thing here on Front Page Africa. But thank you for joining us. That's it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We'll move on. We'll move on to different subject matter. What's on your plate tonight, Terry? You're muted, sir.
I see you looking all spicy up. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you. No, no, no. Terry, sometimes, it's good to be educated, and I'm not claiming that I'm educated because I don't even finish high school. It's good to know how to read, and I'm not claiming that I can read more. I still don't know how to read well.
You are educated, bro. I don't know why you always let to put us in a
Well,
category of
well,
uneducated people.
yeah, the,
You
the,
know,
the, thing, the thing is, we know we have too many history. We witnessed a lot as a young man, and I'm very grateful looking back at it, and I'm very grateful to my mother, Madam Bertha Baker Zango. In as much as I was so clueless at the time, she kept pushing me to the court to go listen to argument about what was happening in Liberia during the two-week party days. Keep pushing. When the progressive get in trouble and they're gonna get to the court, go and listen what the argument would be. When Joseph Chelsea used to be the paramedic in the Republic of Liberia. Joseph Chelsea used to be the lawyer for the progressive at that time. When he read to argue on our behalf, you go and listen. I listen to those things. So we
yeah.
know these things.
But
But for them
Gabriel,
to come out and just try to blame us, the indigenous, of their
eh,
misfortune, it's we're not going to take that. But let's go
it's
ahead,
it's it
Terry.
it's gonna happen, Gabriel. It's gonna happen because the American Liberians, they felt that the country was for them, and that is not right at all. That mindset, and just how every tribal people, all the tribes that got involved with the war, they have their own feelings of how they felt, how they were treated. And because of that, they carry that mindset. So up to today, the American Liberian believe that Liberia is supposed to be for them. And they hate the fact that the native people were able to fight for the rights and claim that which was really theirs as well. And whether we like it or not, the war was on. You could not prevent it
No,
because until something happened that was very bad, these people are not going to stop. You see, there was no way talking could not stop them. Advocacy could not stop them. Something bad had to happen, and it was unavoidable. You see, because when people can listen, that what happened, and we see the same thing repeating itself from the native side now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from the native side now, and now it's becoming when one native man get in power. When you from Nima County, you want put all the Nima food in power.
Mm-hmm.
When you from the south, you want all the southeastern people in power. So it's just the same reprobation of the past. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
said we have been, programmed
Let me bring in
to
water.
be to carry that mindset. We adopted the mindset, or the populace have adopted the mindset of or the Liberian, native Liberian have adopted the mindset from the settlers' children.
Mm-hmm.
So they carry on that reprobation, that reprobate mindset, that the same thing they're doing. You get in power, you from this other tribe or this county, all the BB position, your countrymen should get in there. And you fail to realize that other people are envying you for that. And they could turn the country upside down one day. That's what you always saying, that there's a possibility we might return back to the dark day, even though I disagree with you. But you are speaking from the experience that you have from your past, which I cannot negate because I was not born during that time. I don't know the setting at the time, the mindset, the structure, the energy that you talking about, that you can compare with this dispensation to that time. So even though we may disagree based upon our own perception and based upon our own state of mind, but we cannot negate the fact that there's a possibility. So
Thank you.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll move on. Walter
Yeah.
Carter, thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Thank you, the liberal, and hi, my brother Terry. Yeah,
Hey,
good
buddy, what's up?
conversation. I mean, I was listening to you. It's true what happening in our country. I know you guys refer to me as overall boy. You know that it's
No,
true.
no, but they are,
No, no, hold on, hold on. I
even,
come
hold
in.
on
I
one
come
minute,
in.
hold on 1 minute, hold on. We call you Aubrey boy, but they are even Joseph Jenkins Ravers, who is the whitest of the all whitest of all whitest of the slave, told the people the
Mhm.
same thing. So it's not like all the Congo people were on that one boat and say we got to treat it. There
Well,
was
yeah.
how you think some of us get the little boat, the ABC, you could go. How you think we got that? Because some of the Congo people are willing to take us in and help us. But I'm saying they made it into a system. They operate their behavior, their bad behavior into a system. And the system were not willing to give anything unless we come and break this system, which we did. And in the process, people die. And that's what I'm saying. But go ahead. So I'm not saying because you're from Rivers to you.
No, 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 no. I just made a reference. Because people don't even know my stand when it comes to our problem in Liberia. Like Terry said, he was not born at that time, but he knew I was not born prior to 1969. I was born 1971. But history there.
Hey, yeah. So you see Tubman.
Eh? What you said?
You see Tubman.
No, I didn't see it on
So
the time when I went Todman died.
so
But
when
I saw
when they
Todman.
want to bury Tubman that time you are not yeah. I saw it. I passed my head
Yeah,
through it. I'm a people and saw the people letting
yeah.
that candle over his grave.
I, I
Man,
saw
Samson told me
Todman, but
I
Wow.
see all kind of thing,
I
man.
didn't I
Jesus.
saw Todman, but I didn't see
What?
Todman. But history, because where I live, history was always told. And we saw it firsthand. We saw the air treatment. But one of the things that puzzled me, right? Libra, how you support President Joseph Nima Boaka, who is an experienced person, and no politics attached. It's just reasoning, right? This man who lived in a period uh, brought the change to Liberia as far as the American rule. When Doe took over, President Bouaka was part of Doe administration from the very get-go. Now, you went to honor people or lay people to rest that died during the war. You didn't even mention, like you said, Liberal, those other people that was killed in the process. Prior to those 13 people being killed on the pole, you didn't do any memorial for them. The people that want to demonstrate that was shot prior to those people being executed on the pole. You didn't mention nothing about it, like they were not Liberian. So this the thing about the indigenous, right? The indigenous, and Pearl Brown Bull said it. Pearl Brown Bull said, your indigenous people, as she said it, the way it was derogatory, but he said, your damn country people, excuse my expression, you ain't know what good for you. You have good people that were fighting for you, that when church people die. You have people that are fighting for you. You can't honor them. You don't honor them. All right? Joseph President Boaka should have mentioned all those people so the people can know that look, even though people were executed, but prior to that, this is what led to these people being executed. Our people were slaughtered. So let's have memorial for those people who were slaughtered too. Everybody will be, memorialized so that we can put this chapter behind us. You understand? So they come up with a feel that the rest of the country did it wrong by executing 13 people on the pole. Not knowing before 13 people die, we're talking about 1,000 of people died before 13 people died. Who are the 1,000 of people? They were all indigenous people. But because the indigenous people are not valued in the minds of those people, they only give respect to their people that pass away. And that's sad. We are all one. You said a point here. There was a lady who went to Liberia from America. She wanted to do a dissertation, African American. She had been advocating for the freedom of black people. She was one of those people when they abolished slavery and repatriated the American Liberians to Liberia. She was one of those people who were happy. They advocated for that. And she always wanted to go to Liberia to see how they were governing. She said when she went there, this is on CNN. When she went there, the things she saw that people who came from depression, oppression, slavery, the freedom they were yearning for when she went there, she saw something quite different. She saw that those very people were enslaving their own black brothers and sisters, giving them treatment that the slave master here gave to them. She said, oh, this cannot be possible. And she came back and she had to say it out. I guess she wrote a book too, because it was part of her dissertation. You understand? But today you don't hear that stuff too much around. And you're right for saying it. We must be inclusive. And today, look at what's happening in our system. Yesterday, we put blame on one president that he employed all his people from the southeastern region, not knowing the southeastern region is almost 5 to 6 counties. Today, look at 85 to 90% of government officials in high position, all from Lofa County. And we sit down, we close our mouth. We didn't even say anything. So what make you think that our situation as far as corruption and all of the disparity we talk about, what make you think that it will not bring back those dark days? The only reason why, because we experience, and most Liberians are saying we tired of war. We tired, regardless of what we're saying, our driver, but we want no war. Because when things happen, these politicians will take their suitcases and fly to different countries where we will stay and put our laws on our head and be internally displayed and it will slaughter us for nothing. Because we are here for the slaughter that want to do to us. So we don't want war. But that is exactly what happened. And that's what I keep reminding us. We should not put people above our country. When we elect people because we think that they can do better for the country, when they're not doing better, we should speak out. We should ask them to leave our space because we need development, we need inclusion, we need our country to be free of every bad things that happened in the past that brought our civil war. So we can speak that manner. We can't speak two sides of our mouth. One minute we're saying this president is the king. The next minute we're saying different thing. We have to be consistent because without consistent, these politicians will continue to use us and abuse us. And at the end of the day, Liberal and Wilton will be at loggerhead because of politics. Only to find out that Liberal is a decent man, Wilton is a decent man, but because we have different of opinion, we go at each other. And that what happened in our civil war when we killed each other because nobody knew, nobody from Nima County that were coming to Monrovia. They came, politics. Oh, you doso, oh, you MPFS supporter, oh, you this person, oh, you cramming your power in the government, killing you. Innocent, you didn't know the person from Adam. And you just get out and shoot the person and kill the person because of the same bad things that happen. But anyway, good topic.
Thank you.
We got to talk about this thing. I think in the book
No,
of
no, no,
Dr.
no.
Nyanu,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah,
Like I
it's in the
said,
book of Dr. Nyan. I think Dr. Nyanu talking about some of his stuff in his book too. We can as every time on the show, at least one little topic, a chapter in our book that will highlight some of the
right,
issues
right.
in our society. We can talk about it. No shot about it. We gotta talk, continue to talk
No, no.
until our
So
people understand.
what we're gonna do is to have a Saturday early morning because I want Liberian to be able to hear. So I'll do it very early in the morning. Those who are able to wake up to join us will join us. Thank you, Mondu. Thank you, Mr. Tudor, for joining us here tonight. But let me read this here. Let me read this here. Let me read it. President Joseph Jenkins Roberts reminded the Liberian legislature in 1850 of the founding vision. This is coming from William Nyanu book, Mitigating the Legacy of Mismanaged Vision, the case of Liberia, William G. Nyanu. Look it up, go on Google and just type it in there. You can get it from it's a very, very good book. And I will advise all of us, when you come to read it, come with open mind. Don't come with traveler's mind on it because you're gonna get stuck and you're not gonna enjoy it. Have yourself to be free. You can make your judgment from time to time, and in fact, you might get angry from time to time. But if you come in as, "Oh, I'm from Totan," and then what people did to me, then you will not enjoy the book. But let me read this here. Joseph Jenkins Roberts said, "Gentlemen, these people," speaking about the indigenous now, "these people sustain a particular relation to us and must be civilized and work, and the work is ours to civilize them, that is. They are not only of the same nature and of the blood with ourselves, but they are our brethren, our fellow citizens, and of the same race, and must be raised to a condition to partake with us in all the blessing we enjoy, to participate with us in all the affair of the government, and to be in all respect on the equal footing with other civilized, with other citizens of the republic." Joseph Jenkins Robert, Viking, 1850. And you want to tell me, said nobody told you? You people were warned, you know. So, but anyhow, let's, anybody, you got any other subject matter we can throw out for you want us to discuss? Let's jump onto that. Mr. Taylor, thank you for joining. What's on your mind, sir?
Thank you for having me. I did enjoy your that monologue. It was very informative, and yes, many people have to dig deeper and read to sort of have some clearer understanding. And I like the position that you took. You're not against the fact that they are recognizing those 13 people that were that were killed on the pole, but you also want that whoever write that are writing about this history should balance the entire conversation where they talk about indigenous Liberians who were also killed, who were also, not, murdered. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed the monologue. Definitely enjoyed the little information that you share and to all of us. So yeah, my attention is drawn today to so many different things. Finally, the supplementary budget passed today, and I was happy for several reasons. Among them is the fact that the Ministry of Defense budget was increased. From what I saw in the draft budget, that kind of got me pissed off to what I seen, what I saw to what was passed. Tells me that yeah, they are putting some premium or some importance to the pressing national security issue that we have at the Salomba border in Luffa County. I think it was we had 3.5 million or $4 million given to the AFL, which is I think not too enough, but it's significant given the issue we have at hand. And the AFL is about to carry on their recruitment, and I think that will go far to help in that process. And Senator Amara Conan, sometimes we don't agree on everything, but Today he spoke his heart out. And this what he was actually talking about is exactly something that I have been pushing for months, ever since the incident at the border. That the concern about the numerical strength of the military, our lack of proper war equipments, and all of that. And I said it on the show. I think it was yesterday that we don't have the strength to fight. We don't have the capability. We don't have the capacity to fight. Yeah, you were getting mad at me, Libra, and it's. I mean, it's. I think we're going to differ on that part because I'm a military guy. I know what are those things that you need, the tools that you need to go to war. If you don't have it, let us be straightforward, and that's what American did. And I saw Senator Yan Twine trying to say order, 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 trying to interrupt the Senator American. And what American was putting out was not any kind of classified information. What he was saying is just what anyone would say. He was basically encouraging young people. He said, "Look, we don't have the numerical strength. Guinea has about 12,000 to 30,000 soldiers, men. We have under 2,000 men. How can you fight such country without technology and the proper weapon system, or maybe technology could have helped us, but we don't have technology. We don't have the war fighting machine and all of that." And Senator kind of also said we don't even have a navy. We don't have an air force. These are things that I have been advocating for ever since my friends who are there at the Ministry of Defense. Those are people I went to high school with. We graduated high school together, and I trust the ability to run that ministry. But let us be factual here. We have to talk to the commander in chief. We have to tell the commander in chief that we are not there yet. We are not up to par yet, laborer. That we are still vulnerable in all different aspects. From the air, we are vulnerable. From the sea, we are also vulnerable. So instead of just projecting that, we have a military that is able to defend us, now we are not able to defend ourselves. Now let us be blunt.
Thank you.
And until we realize something like that, we will not fix the issue. Recognize the issue, accept the issue, at hand, and that's the only way you can be able to solve the problem. And what Senator Connor did today, to me, sort of make me so happy. I was very impressed with his statement on the floor, and he said in December when they are there to argue the upcoming budget for the next budget year, the next calendar year, he's going to push for more money for the AFL, and I want to see that happening. I want to see that happening because that is very key. We are a sovereign nation. We should be able to protect our territorial integrity. There is no excuse to that. We are a nation. We should not come up with excuses. Oh, we ain't get this. Oh, we ain't get that. Oh, big. No, we should be able to project that we have the ability, the capability to man our borders, to defend our nation against all enemy,
Thank
both
you.
foreign and domestic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Here is the point here before I go to Terry. You think like bro when the Guinea come forward, like bro, you think that West Point war will coming for begin. You're missing something big time. This is why the president of the Republic of Liberia refused to take the bait. I understand from you where you sit, you're looking at because you've been there, and I feel bad for you guys. You guys are truly suffering because you look at it's like Zobush. You know the Zoe business, you see everything, and something to we know nothing. Because let's do that. He's telling you how do you call it? That tongue over there, that piece of steak you can just hold. Oh, that other one, that snake there, that not just the cassava moving, that snake, you know it. You, the military person, you know the tactician, what you need to do about it. But that is not where we are. I understand that. But let me say this to you. The reason why I appreciate the president of not taking us to war is not what you just stated. Because if Guinea try to shoot, They can bring all their army in the air. They can bring their marine from the sea. You know who's going to fight the war? Your ex-fighters. They're not going to sit down for Liberia to be destroyed. Your ex-fighter. Then you will see how united Liberia will be, because the Nima fighter, the Crown fighter, the Grebo fighter, all of the fighting, the warring faction that used to fight against each other, they will go together. And Guinea knows this. They're not going to try anything. But the issue, this president, from my perspective, the issue this president, it's not like we're running away from Guinea, but he's saying, I believe, that okay, even if we go to war and order the X factor, you know how many generals we got in the city of Moreda are not getting paid?
Libra, I'm going to disagree with you on
Okay,
this point.
let me you tell your own. Let me tell my own. Let me tell my own. You can disagree with me, and we'll disagree all night because your level of understanding with the military business, my own level, that is our level. So forget it. You can't win me. I can't. Just tell you book military and talk to your body there in the defense. You will understand each other. But for me, the language I'm speaking, that during the war, the way those children behave, that's exactly what they're going to do. When you take your professional army against people like that, you will be able to kill a lot. But they're not gonna run away from you. They believe that. Now, the problem, like I said, the president, for him, from his perspective, what I believe, I don't know them, they don't know me, they don't even talk to me anyway. But what I believe the president is thinking is okay. So even if we go to war, we don't have enough army, but our fighters, the ex-fighters, these generals, will stop. During about a month ago, there was a guy flung by two of his commanding general. They made a video where he said me, I control people in Niba County. And believe me, if there's a war, these are people that will come to fight. The issue is, okay, when the war finishes, even that one day said, and they stop it, where you put those people? So President Baka is saying, where do I place them? Nowhere to put them. You can't put them in a box. Then what? Where do we go? And because of that, it's for the president himself, considering his age, he has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose. That's what the Iranian Ayatollah told the people. He said, okay, look at me. It is only you came in right away. I got to go. But the young people, President Baka is saying to his future of the Republic of Liberia that I have to do everything possible to protect the future of the Republic of Liberia. It is not because your military tactician thing. I don't think that's why the president delaying. The president is doing everything possible to protect the future of the Republic of Liberia. Let me go to Terry, then we'll come to Walter Carter. Terry, let's hear from you on this.
Well, I think we're all saying the same thing anyway. The the war, if God forbid something do happen, which we pray that it's not gonna happen, it will go to it will be the responsibility of those former combatants. That's what you're saying, Deborah. I want to agree with you. Because they will come in.
Hmm.
They will definitely come in because the government do not have the manpower to fight the war. They just don't. 2,000 men cannot make it to combat with, over 12,000 Guinean, well trained, with military arsenal. You got all kinds of stuff there. You cannot use that to come and say you're gonna go something. It's not gonna work. So the only thing you can depend on would be ECOMOG, that maybe how you call it, ECOWAS, military force, if they decide to send contingent,
Which they will not do.
which I doubt they will do, maybe or try to solicit foreign troops that will come in. But how can you use 2,000 men? You don't even have emissary. You don't get war tank. You don't get no mobile. It's just a bluff, And the last time I checked, I don't know if we have been having military drills often. Where in real military training. The last time I checked, it was during Ellen's time. because I almost joined the military during that time, but for my calling, I said I'm not going to join it. So Ellen had those people here, the Fiji, from Fiji, they trained our military, and that time there were just few men. They trained them along with other people assisted. But it was not, they didn't go through a long period of training. It was not a long period of training where they went through different segment of drills. But they do have different departments in the military, different departments. But again, there are other departments that our military don't have that Guinea military have. There are other infantries. So how you gonna match that with the reality if something really happen? You can't. So the people that are going to come in, because most of the fighting that will be done will be guerrilla fighting. Guerrilla fighting, and the people that know how to do that better are the former combatants. Because most of the people Ellen trained, they were not people who went to war. They were not people who fought war. They were the young people that were coming out in her time that was never, they made sure to not enlist into the army those who were former combatants and those who were former AFL. So they made sure to recruit high school graduates, young men at the time that just wanted to go into the military. Those were the people they recruited. So most of the people in the military have never been to battle, except the one that went to Mali and other places for fighting to participate for with UN and all of that. But most of the ones then that we have, they have never seen real battlefront. They never been there before. Could be wrong. Maybe somebody could correct me, but because one of my close friends who wanted me to join the military, I know him very well. He never held gun before, but he had been to the battlefront because he went to Mali. He was part of the contingent that went to Mali and they fought there, and he came back safe. But these guys were well trained, but there are many things that the American military that you come from, Momo, they don't have it in our military. We don't have that, and Guinea do have it. So I don't know how we're gonna make it. But again, like what you said, Amara Connor did speak to the issue. I saw somebody was trying to implicate Amara Connor because of the things he said.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
in my
that was good
opinion,
day. Yeah, that was good day for more. He doesn't understand the issue.
right.
He was just being,
So, and that really I didn't like the way. But again, I think that's what it is. And but it, and what that's it. I think also the last day sitting also went into check with the $79 billion budget. I mean, printing. And I also thought that was something interesting, but maybe we
So
can
let's
have
make
that conversation
let's
another time.
close on there. Then we'll come up with that money issue and see exactly what is happening there. Those of you that have the knowledge on it and can speak to that. Walter Carter, let's close on this. There's a Guinea issue here, and then we'll move on. Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening. So I'm happy that you guys are singing the war drum. It's not the opposition
Oh,
singing war drum yet.
nobody's
I'm
singing
very
war drum here. We're not
Oh,
singing war.
liberal, let me just talk my own
No, but you
tabata.
can't just come
Liberal, let me talk
no,
my
you
own
can't just come and
tabata.
indict us like that, and you expect
Liberal,
us
let
But
me
to.
talk
why
my
you want to
tabata.
lie on us that we're talking
Yeah,
about
Liberal,
we
war
let me
so
drum?
talk
yeah.
my
No,
tabata. Liberal, let me talk my tabata. Everybody thought I own a tabata. Let me talk my own.
okay. So you know
Thank
that
you
some of
very
them
much.
go and enjoy yourself.
Egyptians
Yeah,
are
yeah.
always angry. I don't know why. I don't
Yeah,
know.
me, I'm an angry man right now because I'm hungry, so I'm angry.
You're not
Anyway,
too far
look,
from Jamaica, that one. Oh,
on a
but
serious,
that's now I know
you
the
see the
president wife
distraction
from
here?
Jamaica.
You see the distraction? You see the
So the
distraction?
CDC first lady from Jamaica. So they gotta be angry. Angry man, a hungry man, But let's hear from you, Walter. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's good that you guys thinking of beating the war drum. Look, when we speak about the president making sure that Guinea does not sit on our land and take advantage of Liberia, we're not singing war drum. We're not beating war drum to say we gotta train enough men, we gotta get equipment. Because what I hear from my brother Tule is like we can only do these things if we are equipped. Then we can go and confront Guinea. No, we're not saying that. What we're saying here from the get-go as a sound leader, a leader who is proactive. The very time that stuff happened, when our citizens went at the border And in the eyes or in the face of armed men, the fierce armed men that we all talk about today, that Liberians who are afraid, we get army to fight, and we get citizens without even guns went over there and put our flag up, pledged allegiance to the flag, and sung the national anthem. At that point, when the Guinean soldier retreated, our commander-in-chief should have deployed few members of the armed forces of Liberia at that station so that it can serve as a deterrent. So when Guinea coming back to deploy again, she will have to think twice and say, oh no, we got other soldiers across the board. Then let us start having dialogue. They were not going to just open fire on Liberian soldiers. No. Because once Liberian soldier over there, Liberian soldier will get the backing of the citizenry. That's what we're trying to say. We're trying to say go to war. We know the numbers not there, but don't forget. And you guys, and liberal lay correct. Don't forget. War in Liberia, anywhere in the world. Look at today, Ukraine, Russia. What Russia taking soya from? Going to China for soya. Russia going to, in fact, they're collecting poor from Africa. Go back and watch the news. They're fooling the intelligence and say, you come to Russia, you come, will get your job to do on the kind of police training army and send on the battlefront. And in Ukraine, when Ukraine captured them, they're telling their stories. How they were brought to the battlefront. So the army over there can be 500, but when something happens, there will be recruit. And we will recruit. Those same people that are sitting now waiting just for something to spark also they can join in. But again, like liberals say, after that, what will we do with them? That's the problem. But we are not talking about war. What we're saying here is to protect our border, our land. Can you imagine the poor went for on the Solomon border? They not move from Solomon, they're sitting on the Solomon border, but they extend their placing, the area into the land border now, where they got the cornerstone. They pass the cornerstone, came deep into fire and planted a flag there again, put a little kitchen, there where they can sit. That's gross disrespect. That violation of our territory. But because the president didn't move swiftly, so the Guinean taking inch by inch. Who knows? The people will start building the concrete homes over there, and it will be some other thing that Liberia will sit down again. How people can build on your land and say because the person didn't bury your land, so you can take the land from there again. You have to negotiate. I repose. Totman gave, I think what Totman, one of the guys gave the abhorrent land, that Danane area there to go and do hunting for elephant hunting. When you go into Man, that way you can see the seal of Liberia. You can see the seal, the Republic of Liberia seal there. But today, abhorrent sitting now in Danane and think that Danane for them. We can't take it back. The people being there. How will we take it back now? We will not fight. The Afroan have been there for years. They will think that okay, they play for all. They are Yakuba, but they don't care. They will say that for that. So what we say here, before these things just go into, just lingo. Take action, proactive action. Take it, boom, put in there. We're fighting, but we don't want to put our little people there. We can send people to Mali, but we can send people right to the border just to man the border. We say should nobody stay there. That Guinean forces had the audacity to cross our border and went on the Ganta side to talk with the surveillance that were there and tell us that, oh, we are all brothers and we want to make peace. We can't, because you know why they did that? They can't try Nima Kante. So they went and called the Nimbane on the other side of the border. They walked there. There's a video for that. And they were explaining to them that we are all brothers, so no war, we're not fighting war, we're not doing anything. We just want to tell you, say, we are all brother. We're happy that we are, and everything fine. Smooth operation. That stuff will be direct to the Solomon border. They will say we are all brother. We all make sure nobody mind the river. That about we cross the river. I'll say yeah, it's okay. But today, yeah, we are. We're talking about it today, and my problem is instead of you listening to your citizens, you arresting your citizens, and you telling them to shut the mouth because they are talking about this situation, and that's the sad thing about it. Thank you, Liberal.
Thank you. Tule, let's hear from you.
Liberal, I want to get
let's talk about.
So, Liberal, let me just close on this. Let me just give me about 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
Right.
I mean, I heard Terry, talked about this whole thing about the supplementary budget being more money being allocated to to the AFL. It's not about us going to grab men and carry them to go fight now. We are not, look, you learn from situation, right? What we've seen, we've learned from there, right? And sometimes it's not all about numerical strength. It's not all about the size of the army. Sometimes it's not all about the size of the military. Sometimes you can have a small army with the right technology and the right war equipment and stuff like that. You can be able to fight a war, right? It's not about the size. But for a country like Liberia, we do need a country of almost 6 million people. We need at least an army, at least we can start up with at least 12,000 men or pretty close to 20,000 men. It will be okay. So somehow, somewhere to be okay. So from what I see, if we can move up the size of the military, we'll be okay. But it's very important that we begin to establish the Liberian Air Force. We do not have an Air Force. I know, before you establish any sort of entity or whatever or branch of the AFL, you need to have money, right? It has to be passed through the house in order for, and then money should be there for it. But we don't have the money yet, but we need to now begin to think about establishing the Liberian Air Force and the Liberian Navy. The army that we only have today and the Coast Guard we have today are not enough to handle the issue of the nation. What if we have external attack over our airspace? What capability do we have to repel in the air? We don't. What if we encounter attack from an enemy on high sea? What sort of sophistication do we have as a nation to combat, to counter such attack? So not only are we focused on only the army, because currently what we have, because many Liberians don't know this, they call the ground troop today, that is the Army AFL. AFL is the overarching organization, the parent organization under which we should have 4 branches of the military. That is the army. Those are the guys that are wearing the army green. So on their uniform, it should be inscribed as Liberia Army, right? But we're still making that mistake. These are simple things that can be done with a stroke of a pen. Policy-driven thing. Say for far too long, we've been making this mistake, calling our ground troop, that is the Army, AFL. They are AFL, but they are a branch under the AFL. So under the AFL, that guy, a ground troop, supposed to be the Liberian Army. So I hope someone is listening that they can go ahead and make such change immediately. And then we have the Coast Guard that is so limited to only protecting our coast, but we need at least a Navy and an Air Force, So Liberia, let's be clear, we can't fight Guinea. All that you're talking about ex-rebel, they can you combat air suppression? You can't. You're loose. You on the ground, the main element, or you. What do you have to counter them up there? We don't. So there's no way. Guinea put one fighter jet up there. We're done.
Liberal, let me just get 1 second to inform people. People think that Guinea does not have an Air Force.
Guinea has an Air Force.
The only 2 countries in Africa, West Africa,
what are you talking about?
Air Force. Guinea does not. The only 2 countries in Africa
let's
that
give
have
him the
Air Force.
opportunity.
The only 2 countries
Let's
in
give
Africa
him the
that have Air
opportunity
Force. We
to
saw
please.
it during our civil war with Nigeria and Ghana. That the 2 countries, Guinea does not have an Air Force.
You talking about way back then?
Too late. Please let him talk.
No, but how do you feel the man interrupted me?
Hold on, we'll
okay,
go one at a time, please. Go ahead.
Guinea does not have an Air Force. Guinea has manpower. They got the war tank, the mobile, all the things. Yes, but they don't have an Air Force. I don't even think Guinea have a how you call it a sea what the name for it the Coast Guard to that extent that will even carry war on sea. Guinea does not have that. What they have is manpower, and they got equipment for the manpower on the ground, infantry people, but not Air Force and
Liberal. I don't want us to sit there. CDC always has
let it don't come down to CDC.
No. They have about CDC, not CDC thing. CDC thing. When you were doing the war,
why would you argue on something you don't know?
I know.
Why?
Why you argue? Why do you
It's so lazy.
That's
what the man trying to tell you.
I'm telling you want to argue. Public information. Tell all your supporters to go and Google simple thing. Well, like Guinea got Air Force. Y'all go Google it. I don't want to speak it.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
So
Well,
man, don't come here with your your disinformation. No, I ain't
thank
got
you, thank
misinformation,
you, thank you.
Too
disinformation.
late,
Today,
too
let's
late, too late. Relax, relax. We will deal with you small, small.
You see that? He surrender. He not
Surrender
surrender.
what?
Now. Why you talking
that
about?
that CDC was a runner. Forget
Listen,
it. Forget it. CDC.
ask all
That
your
CDC.
supporters, your
When
institution
they
that
see
are
the
watching
clip,
this show.
when CDC see the clip, they hold each other by the tail and they go down the hill together.
Let them
No,
go
that's
and
a runner.
Google. Let
But let me
let the institution go
let's
and Google.
guys, thank you. Let me open the line. Let me open the line. Terry, let's go ahead and talk about the budget stuff. What is the budget that bother you or make you happy? Let's hear from you.
Yeah,
Rescue two. Thank you. Let me open the line, guys. And once again, this is a rule when you're in flight. When the line is open, anybody call will cut you off, and then we'll bring you back. Oh, hold on, y'all, hold on. All that number I put on.
the
Okay,
phone
okay.
already.
That Chinese phone.
Hey, I thought you were talking about the opinion of the currency.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
the Liberian dollar. I'm talking about the
Terry,
79
go ahead,
billion.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
What do you with the
Keto,
money
do not
business?
argue.
Terry, let me ask you that: are we having another $1 billion going missing or $25 map out SSI coming our way again?
No, but it might likely happen. That what we're looking at.
Oh, it might.
But
Oh, okay. That's not good. That is
No,
I'm
it
just
will
not
not
good.
kidding.
happen. Don't
Yeah.
just
What
crazy.
happened, Deborah, is that we are printing $79 billion recommended by the CBL.
LD,
My,
LD, LD,
yeah, LD.
LD. Okay.
Yeah. Not
79 billion,
79 US because we,
79 billion dollar Liberia, I mean US, then whatever America will come and seize your country.
but you can print American US dollar.
No.
America is the only country that prints their own
Yeah,
money.
I
And,
know, I
and
know.
this is the reason why it's bad for us because our dominant currency in Liberia is the American dollar. And the American dollar, we don't have control of the American dollar because the American dollar is actually controlled by the US. So if there is inflation internationally, it will affect us in Liberia. So here is the thing. So if we print, there are up and down sizes to this thing. There's a possibility that the money printed could be used beneficiary for our economy based upon how the CBS decide to control it, or it could result into inflation. And we may end up becoming just like Zimbabwe in early years, like 2000, wherein they were buying one bread for almost 1,000 Zimbabwean money. And like every 2, 3 days, the rate will go up and the rate will drop because the demand for goods was small than the amount of cash flow that were on the market. So I hope this is not where we're going because you see, every leadership that comes, you see the country get tougher, the economy get harder because the LD value drops. Because the more we print money, there will always be inflation at the end of the tunnel. So Joe, we are done the printing of money. That is why today we're experiencing inflation. So if we print more Liberian dollar, what are we using to strengthen our money enough that will be able to combat or to become a dominant factor to minimize inflation, to control the rate to a minimum position wherein your your salaries will not be useless. You understand? Because there are a lot of things involved with when the money lose value. The Liberian dollar is not that strong. But some of the things that can make our Liberian dollar strong is not printing more Liberian dollar because your Liberian dollar only circulate in Liberia. The American dollar is strong because it circulates worldwide. So the America can print money fast every now and then because America money goes worldwide. Not only that, America got investment and sufficient goods in the country to back the currency. We don't. We rely squarely on importing, you see, and importing. And worst of all, our food, our staple food, rice. We import rice. At least if we were at least if we are having our own food. And that is why I'm praying that the president, and maybe the printing of this money could be like a subsidies as the president vision kicks off. If the president vision do kick off before 2029, then we might not experience the inflation that I am envisioning or I am anticipating. Because there's a possibility if the president vision wherein the mechanized farming of rice production become something major in 2029, where Liberia can be empowered to start feeding herself, then we may not experience a high level of inflation from printing $79 billion. But if we don't strengthen our currency in the few more years from now with some kind of trickle down change in the trajectory of the economy to strengthen our money by collecting taxes in liberty, by paying salary, whole salaries in liberty. If we don't strengthen our liberty, there's a possibility that we will experience inflation and there is no way about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go to Walter Casa. Do you want to add on this or any conversation about money issue tonight at all?
Mr. Tour, I think we should go back in history.
Labor is eating. I mean, what you need is eating. That one mean he's not on
No,
the
I'm not.
show.
I'm
Yeah,
not eating. I'm
they're
on
not
the
eating,
show,
man. I
brother.
can tell that
I'm
feeling
not
more.
eating nothing. I'm not eating anything. So you guys, we are eating. But this the thing, right? Let's go back to history. Let's go back in history. We saw when the CDC government came to office, there was something about 16 billion Liberian dollars being printed, and according to them, it was on the market or it was at President Weah's house. That money was actually printed on the Unity Party government of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and it sparked a big controversy in the country, to the extent the former president had to invite foreign investigator to investigate the money. All right, because Liberia ran with it. Just the same situation we are faced with. Back then, it was 16 billion. Now, money in our society, in our country, the money that circulates in our country should be up to like 17 billion on the streets. The kind of money that should be circulating in people's hands between the banks and other people, citizens in the country. We're talking about 70, I don't know, 75 billion. Do we have even storage for 75 billion? Do we have storage to put 75 billion Liberian dollars? How are we going to even do the denominations? How are we going to do that? And secondly, what is the intent of printing that huge amount of money? To print $75 billion, we're talking about more than $500 million to print $75 billion or Liberian dollar. More than half. More than half. We're talking about almost 600 million, pretty close, or 700 million just to print that amount of money. Where are we taking that money from at this point? When we cannot even raise the $1.5 billion budget that they were talking about. So what? So sometimes I think Unity Party always like to put a foot in the mouth to do some stuff in the words of the liberal.
I, I,
You
I,
understand?
I, I'm no longer in a
It
for.
will always be attributed to you, because that you're saying, as you're saying, it would always be is like is your signature. We'll put it on you. We'll hang it on you. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
no. On a
To the-
on a serious note, I don't think it's necessary to create that, because it will bring a huge kind of an inflation in the country. Like Terry said, if we have a big project like the mechanized farming, what would do value production, you understand, all over the counties, the different counties in Liberia, value production, you can pump that money in and do serious transformation in agriculture, that at least Liberia people will be having value production of the produce that it will make. We don't have that yet. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a money man, so I don't know, but I think it's a disaster.
so
So,
so so
so, so
before
Libra.
too late before you come out here. Let me read it. Sometimes things happen for the best. This guy book here, William Nyanum book, and you just talk about we don't have the capacity. But listen to this. This is a 1857. He said our prosperity is not real. It is false. It is friction. The prosperity of a nation is real when the spring of the prosperity are contained within itself. You're talking about printing all this money. Is it going to benefit Liberians, or is that another thing coming to make our prosperity faulty? I thought I'd just read that. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead, Tilly.
So Libra, a printing of money have it good and bad, right? So I mean, one of the good things about printing money is that Liberia is a highly dollarized. We have a highly dollarized economy, right? So increasing the supply of Liberian dollar could strengthen our local currency if we manage. And this is key word: if managed properly. And that's where the expertise of the economic management team of the president, which is the central bank, comes in, right? So they know what. So you have to control the supply of money, but because we are so heavily dependent on the American dollar, that is U.S. dollar, but we are a dollarized economy, infusing Liberian dollar into the economy could strengthen our local currency. Also, at this point in time, this printing of money could also stimulate our economic activity for the short term, right? That is injecting more Liberian dollars into the economy can increase spending. It could also boost small businesses. And could also, for the short term, it can also promote short term growth. You know, so all of these things, right, in places like in sectors like the markets, transportation, and local trades. So sometimes we look at the approach, and then there are also downsides to it. But I will still continue with what we can let's look at the positive outcome of this. It helps the government to finance some urgent needs, especially where we're seeing that most of our foreign aid, we are no longer dependent on foreign aid. Donald Trump came and shut down USAID and all of that, money that should have come to us for development. So if the government tax revenue for foreign aid is limited, so what do we do? The government, through the central bank, can also print money to fund salaries of civil servants and security forces. We could also put that money into infrastructure like road, electricity. We could healthcare and all of that. So it also supports liquidity, right? So more cash in circulation can also prevent liquidity shortage. That is ensuring that banks and businesses have enough money to operate smoothly. That's a good. Those are some good side to printing of money. You know what I mean? To increasing money supply on the market. All of these conditions will only happen when members of our economic management team can properly manage the M1, that is the money, the supply of money into our economy, right? But the downside to it that inflation, like many of my guys pointed to here, because too much money could be chasing fewer goods, right? Too much money into the economy chasing fewer goods could lead to rising price, right? Because you get the money, the goods not enough for the money that you got in circulation, right? It could cause a price to rise, and Liberia being a fragile economy, access money printing can quickly increase the cost of goods or other fuel services, right? Because it's almost like that. I have the money, but I can't find the goods. Those who have the fewer goods, the traders that have the fewer goods, will start not to look at it. You know what? They start doing this sort of thing we're calling in economic holding, right? They'll start to hold all of the goods and stuff out like none of the goods exist, thereby making them to create some artificial shortages, right? And cause price to go up. So these are some of the things, the downsides to, printing of money. But I think for now, let us, trust the economic management team of the UP administration. I think they have the proper expertise to manage the supply of money in our economy, fund some projects that we have now currently at hand. But then one thing that will also help us as a nation, if we get into, decide to get into exportation, right? Exporting some of our locally made goods, we compete into foreign trade, right? Foreign trade, international trade. That also could project strength for us, could further strengthen our local currency, right? Our foreign exchange, out there, you can go out there, Liberian dollar can be changed in other countries, Liberian dollar, because we have goods out there that, that we are supplying on the international market, like the price of our gold, rubber, and all of that. Once we could, like my man said, like the guy, the CDC man, value addition. We get involved in agriculture. We're producing more rice. We can export some
You
to
ain't
foreign
get
countries.
ask the man for a knee. He said the CDC man.
Like get her. I let her get on the man's skin. Yeah,
All
but
right,
see,
guys, look at we're not getting caught tonight, so let me take this up. We're gonna be closing very shortly here. So go ahead, Mama, wrap it
so
up.
all of these things that I've mentioned, there are some good to print of money, and that. But the only downside to it is that we should be careful with the amount of money we infuse into the economy, because if care is not taken, like I just said, more money chasing fewer goods could lead to serious inflation, and that could also cause people to purchasing power could reduce, because if I got the money, no goods, so the money just sitting on me. What the essence of even having the money? So yeah, so let us be very careful on this whole money that they buy to print, and manage the supply of this money into our
Thank, thank,
economy. Thank you.
thank you, Walter Carter. Let's get your closing, and then we'll go to back to Tule, and then Terry will take us home.
Yeah. So I think the government should rethink the strategy for printing money. Um, if the money is there to recycle, take the old, the tuned up notes from the market and put new money on the market is understandable. Because some of the money on the market like kind of really bad. Um, as far as your country bank notes should have, I mean, should look like that would just to print. I think this would be historic. First time in history for us to billions in that amount, 75 billion. That's not a small money. In fact, the money you're going to use to print that money is a whole lot of money to print it. And then we're crying right now, civil servant not taking pay, and money kind of a delay. It will bring a whole lot of stuff. But the government can be innovative. I think the government should use different strategy in making our agriculture sector vibrant. Like I said, let people start. And I saw a few videos out there that they are trying to do some things. It started from the past administration and they continue this administration. They should amplify it, like the palm oil into agro oil. I saw they giving the palm, back in the day, we were beating palm now with mother pencil in the mother. Now they got machine that processing all that thing and producing tons and tons of red oil. They got people opening bakeries now, and all those things that you add value. People using cassava to make cassava flour and then making it into bread. They should increase productivity era to add value to our agriculture. So when people grow their food, it will not sit and rot. I saw another president we have. There was a lady before the road was fixed in Nima County. There was a lady who had tons of planties, and it was just sitting down because of the road, a deployable road. She couldn't even transport it anywhere, and the plantain just got wrapped and got rotten. So you can change those kind of stuff into making plantain flour, what we use for food here in America. And all these things will help our people. But we have to have innovative people, not to just sit down and call big money. And look at county, the local county that used to be our bread basket. Invest in local county again. Let the poor go back to the soil and turn that product into add value to the product so they can be serving us in the diaspora here too, not only in Liberia. You know what I'm saying? Because over the years we did subsistence farming where every household were responsible to take care of themselves. Now we're talking about mechanized, where we could feed the country and feed people also out of the country. You understand? What Ghana men and Nigerian men know about Kasali that they supply our Kasali in America? What do they know about our Kasali? You understand? Well, our people could be doing Kasali right in Liberia and sending it here, package it and sending it here for us to buy. And, that's value addition right there. So we can invest more. And I mean, back on President Talbot, we know doing the Monserrato group of companies, we were shipping shrimp. Our fish species were coming to America a lot. We have open market with America. We could go back doing that things, doing those things, putting our fishery back into full swing where we not only bringing fish to sell in Monrovia or certain part of the country, but we're also shipping and exporting fish to the rest of the world because they love our fish and all that. We could open up. I don't think this money printing will help our economy. I think it will bring our economy down to the knees. And for Liberia, I doubt it. But again, this is Unity Party, the party of the likes of Tule and that have failed our society for so long. And then he come and sit here on this platform and spew all talk about that excellence. Thank you, Libra.
Thank you. Julie, let's hear from you. Give us your
Oh,
closing.
what a great show. I kind of really enjoy the discussion tonight. So quickly. So I will first start closing by talking about, the supplemental budget that was passed today. And again, I will reiterate that I like what I saw from the Senate, the money that was allocated to the armed forces of Liberia. That shows that they are paying attention to the present issue that we have, and I hope that more money should be allocated to the AFL budget. Y'all stop the noise. Should be allocated to the AFL budget. Yeah, my
Again,
kids. So,
folks, this is a family show. Everybody has
yeah,
a family.
should be allocated to the AFL budget
Hold
because
on, hold on, we got
oh,
actually, well, hold on, let me announce it. You see, we just can't sit and talk about that. We got children. That's what we're talking for. Go ahead, Julie.
yeah. So with regards to the print of the money, right? Like I said, there are some good things. There are some good side to the print of the money. Like I said, it stimulates the economy in the short term. It helps the government to fund some urgent projects. It supports liquidity in the banking system. It also reduces dependence on foreign currency. So all of these things can only be done when we sort of our export. We sort of not just depend on total import, but as we see, Liberia is an import-based economy. We basically an import-based economy. So those guys are the national bank has to be have to be putting their act together so that we don't have too much money too much Liberian dollar in supply that it could further cause much more inflation on our people. And lastly, I would like to talk about, I don't know if we ever talk about it, but I'll talk about what's happening in South Africa. I mean, sometimes we don't go international, but sometimes there are certain things that are international that we have to talk about. The sort of xenophobic thing that is happening in South Africa, to me, is so distasteful, and we all ought to condemn that. South Africans are going after Africans, brothers, not taking them out of the country, that they should leave the country. They don't want to see black people in the country. They only want to see white foreigners. How does that? How can you phantom that? Beating on the people, telling them to lock their shop. So the world need to pay attention to what's going on in South Africa, and I think many South Africans, so they don't understand what apartheid stands for. But we are all praying that they come to their senses and realize that we are all Africans. We have a continent that should be borderless. You know what I mean? So to be coming over, going after your fellow Africans, I think is something that is distasteful, and we should strongly discourage that. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, go ahead and take us home, my brother. Rescue 2.
Yeah, I think that thing happening in South Africa came from here. If you understand what's going on, it's highly political. But yeah, what I want to think, Libra, is thank you for the show. And to Keto, Guinea have Air Force. You can check it or you can Google it. And and I don't know why you argue with a military man who is reading on these things and have this
Don't mind me,
experience.
man. Go ahead,
So,
don't mind rescue.
so
Don't mind me.
but here is the thing here. The printing of the money, my own concern is that I heard that due to the mutilation notes, there are a lot of mutilation notes. Liberia money can get spoiled quickly because we travel a lot. Our traveling type of the way we control our money spoils quickly.
It's like a
People,
cash-based society. We are not cashless. We use
yeah,
money every day in our hand. We don't,
in our hand, so the money can tear up pieces very fast. Even the US dollar, when I was in Liberia, I think I remember 2021, there were no new print of US dollar. No new print. So when the people saw me, I carry up, I think about 5 grand. So when they saw me giving the fresh note, they were shocked. They were surprised. They said, "But Mom Piggy, where you get the money from?" And I was looking at it, but the money in Liberia. They said, "But we can't find it." They didn't know I came from the States. They said, "But we can't find it yet." I said, "The money in Liberia, go to the bank. The money there," because I never wanted somebody to trace me. They saw me in the bank trying to get to buy or the Lone Star internet service. So the money I spent for the Sonny, they saw the money brand new. The other guy came and said, "Man, where you got the money from?" I said, "The money from the bank." But what I'm saying is that if they are trying to replace mutilated notes, it will be good. They are trying the what Tule said to boost the economy. But I want to believe last year, when the central bank did something in the economy that brought the US rate down, many people were complaining that they never had liberty in the bank. They were going for liberty, but they were not getting it. So apparently, the central bank realized that there was a deficit. And probably that is the gap they're trying to close because the banks do not have the liberty enough to meet up. And we must also acknowledge that our budget is $1.2 billion. So what is the liberty equality, liquidity to match up with that amount? I don't even know why should we even be looking at our budget from a US dollar perspective. I think if we do not, like what Tule said, he's talking about short term. So now if we address the short term issue, what will become of the long term? What will happen in the long term after the short term is you boost the economy, you get people jobs on, but then after that, there is no strength to the liberty. That means we'll go back to the same place we were, and the inflation could even increase. That is where economists are saying that there's a possibility that if we do not use this money to strengthen the Liberian dollar by boosting the economy the way we choose to, if we don't strengthen if we don't strengthen the Liberian dollar, it will be detrimental for our Liberian dollar in coming years. So even before we hit 2029, if we don't strengthen the Liberian dollar by maybe trying to be buying our own food, providing our own food, paying people in liberty instead of paying people in US dollar, people paying taxes in liberty instead of to strengthen our Liberian dollar. If we don't do that, the inflation coming years will be very high because we are loaning money and we're circulating money in the economy that we do not have the ability to strength, to back up for the money to be strong enough to be able to hold us up. So I think it's something that we got to look at. And I've been reading on other economists' opinion about the matter, and I realized that, the printing of money will be good, and it also could be bad if we do not strengthen the Liberian dollars after the particular money goes out of the economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for the show tonight. But before you go, I will leave this with you, then we can close. This was from William Yanu book again. The book itself is Mitigating the Legacy.
Yes, sir. And so this is where the pastor can laugh.
That's right.
Each time to save your life, you gotta find a
And
escape.
then one deliberate, you know what need to happen too with the whole money issue? When like they do in Ghana, let us do our million of exchange, right, in Liberian dollars, right? We
Yeah,
shouldn't have this, America paying for goods and services in
US dollar.
Liberian dollar. I mean, in
But
US dollars and
let
stuff.
me read it. Let me read this now. Let me read this, and then it's very sad what I'm about to read right now. It's very sad, and you would think this thing was written maybe to be ridiculous here on CDC time 2023, but it's not. This was written by in 1857. Listen to this. Our prosperity is not real. I read that already. It is false. It is factional. The prosperity of a nation is real when the springs of the prosperity are contained within itself in its hand of its citizen. When it depends for its existence upon its own resources, when it's independent. But this is not the case in Liberia. This was back in 1857. We are, as a nation, upheld by foreigners. We are entirely dependent upon foreigners for our schools, for our churches, for our preachers, for our teachers. 1857.
Mm,
What is that different today than
mm,
that? All these years, we are unable, all of these things that I name here, the only difference here right now is the churches. that are being operated by many Liberians, maybe, but the rest of it occupied by foreigners. Why? When we have our own Liberians that will be able to leave the country, come into the diaspora and do well. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You go see people who came to this country with maybe $200-300 in their pocket. Go see the kind of car they ride today. Go see the houses they have. Go see their career. But they seen blood that took us all the way from Town here. We get back to Monrovia. We are unable to transform the lives of our brothers and sisters. And I'm not trying to boast here. Just quite recently, there's a project that I'm on. It's a high profile project. So we're in the process of, we say we're going to replace 2 bridges. So we're working, doing all the design. Last week, they sent diver to look at the old bridges. And the entire section underneath the water, all their columns, everything gone, missing. Oh, they started holding their hair. Oh, what we'll do now? So now we're having meeting, and the total man is supposed to with some of the fixing and what have you, all that kind of good stuff, which I'm very proud to do. But why could I have done? Why can I not do the same thing in total?
Right.
Because the system is not set up for that. The system this guy wrote back in 1857 is still affecting us. We do not believe in ourselves. We'd rather have foreigners. But when we come to the foreign land, we produce more than the foreigners. Go into the hospitals and see the Liberian nurses, see the Liberian doctors. Go into the banking institutions and see the Liberian bankers. Go in the lawyers' offices and things and see Liberian lawyers. Go into the schools, professors, teachers that are holding down classes, teaching people, children. And yet still we have the capacity, but we are not recognized by our own brothers that were once here with us. Instead of when they get there to push the idea, let's bring these people here. Let's bring the people back. And some of us will be willing to do work in Liberia for free. Believe me, many, I'm not the only person, many Liberians. All they want you to do is, okay, give you whatever you need, come home and come work. Recognize that. That person coming home to work is a pay cut. Any Liberian. What are they working like let's open or accused of working as a poo cleaner and things. Even if we clean people here in Liberia, we go there, we clean people that pay cut. So it's not that, it is a system. And I feel bad that we continue to get stuck in the system. But I want to say thank you, Walter Carter. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Terry, for the show tonight. Let's come
But
on.
Labor, because we're also too sympathetic. When people start to take action on leaders that misbehave, we go by and say, no, we shouldn't do it. We should allow them. Even though we see the system working here, but we don't want it to work in Liberia.
Terry, I don't want us to read it here. Saying you now bring it up. Let me ask you a question. You, Terry, right now. You able to look at Samuel Toy and flocking in the street because he stole money from you, from the Liberian people? You able to
No,
look at
that was got it law.
you law?
But why are you making reference to
They
something
throw,
to it?
they throw,
Do you
they
have?
throw
Do you,
Prophet Key in jail. Liberian are saying, what time you free the man now? They may be.
But and now I'm talking
That's
sympathy.
the point. That's the point.
yeah, but the thing
So how
about
your society will improve with that kind of level of sympathy?
no, not even sympathy. Not sympathy.
Like
Let's look at the level of dishonesty.
on a case.
Look at the
Everybody
level-
crying, oh no, lead the man. But those kind of things can never happen in the great United States of America, the
But how?
country we
But
in.
why you even
It
running
can't
after
happen
you
here.
get Koluba? You know why it can happen here? Because in America they will not run after a lawmaker like that.
Liberal, they
In
should
America,
not.
in America they will not run
We're not
after
going to
Prophet
relive
King
the
like
game.
that.
We'll talk about
They will not do that.
don't bring your idea, your sedition.
They will not be like that.
idea.
When you people
No,
start to
no,
bring people
Tonight, we'll
falsely,
talk
it's
about
bad.
the liberal and the
The
president.
guys trying to talk, but you get caught by you ain't talking nothing, my man. Lead us to it.
We'll talk about you should be ashamed of yourself.
Look at
Say,
that.
what's his name?
So that today you
Hold on. Yaka Koloba have a line himself with you. You got plenty sedition at the House of Representatives. You want to tell me?
Yeah,
Right.
Koluba here line said on me. I don't like Yeke Koluba, but what I
No,
want
but you
is
want to
freedom of
block it. You
speech.
couldn't block it.
Freedom of speech.
You
Freedom of
couldn't block
speech.
it. No,
Forget
I
about they couldn't
understand.
block it.
You want to
Freedom
block
of
it.
speech.
You couldn't block it.
People coming out
And
so
you,
they didn't sign.
and you are a strong proponent of freedom of speech. Go to Walmart and say fire, 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 and then no fire. You see why you're not
Right.
locked up the empire.
Freedom
Go
of
try
speech
it.
because what? You
But I
disturbing
see
the
you
public.
Yeke doing that. See comparison. You get there.
So where were you? Where were you when Yeke was doing anything
Which one
about?
of
Where
the
were you?
senator
Too late.
or
All right, guys,
representative
let me
Where
That's
was
it.
Yeke was
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
anything
yeah.
yesterday?
close the show. Thank
And
you, guys.
too late.
You
You
don't
will
meet
tell
on
me tomorrow.
Mr.
Kind of show
You
tomorrow.
don't meet on Mr. Social
Okay,
tomorrow.
we'll do it tomorrow.
Let me
Look
Nice
tomorrow.
seeing you guys, man.
And you see tonight how respectful and quiet they honestly DJ
They
Fun is
show
independent. You
they
see how
show
he is,
they
eh?
show on one sided tonight.
Oh wow! Because you couldn't balance. I mean, you can't stand up, man. The heat here too much for you. You're
I'm
Excellency,
on
Tomorrow you
Liver,
enjoy. Tomorrow you enjoy
Liver.
Dr. Mali and the CEO. They will start talking a bunch of tabata calling, and then they think I left. But when
Ridiculous.
they finish talking,
Liberal.
all kind of then they say they're independent.
Right.
I will
But
take that
Liver,
knee
you
from
see
you,
what
but that knee I
Excellency?
take it from you. Not ridiculous no more. Dr. Mali is the most
Liver,
ridiculous person on our platform now.
you see what Esther saying? That it's unfair with 3-1. Who told them to expel the memo then?
That's the Umba. She
Yeah,
let a
yeah.
year
3 to
off.
1, they
Sedition, and who
can't
told them to
make it.
expel the memo?
3 to 1, I can make it. 3 to
You
1.
are
I can make
excelling
it.
your memo.
Yesterday, man, Esther, you yourself, you said no more fire Dr. Mali.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Well,
All right, guys. Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night, man.
Good night, gentlemen.
Thank you, and thank you, guys. Those of you that have been writing my Esther, thank you for your support and involvement with us at all times. We really, really do appreciate it. I want to thank all of you again tonight. Please let's join Mr. Soul tomorrow and continue to carry out the process of enlightening each other and on LPR. Mr. Soul will be on tomorrow. We will be here too as a counterweight and make sure they don't get their conservative idea across and try to bring down this beautiful network that the liberal is operating so good. Bigly. Thank you very much, guys. I will say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful night. Good night, folks.
Okay, as you can see here, I'm a beginner impacting. Not the big man. See how it's looking like this here? And that's small work. That's what we do. We talk, but we do as well. We begin to see what we can. Okay? Again, the sweat is the body. It's my country. So we're doing it to be able to help. Whatever we can do to help. It's not about the money. It's about what we can do to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. This is the city of beginner. And they put it in the sidewalk. Yes, I'm going to tell you. They put it in the sidewalk. And I'm going to be the one to put it in the sidewalk. If I ought